Welcome back to the Hornet Sports Network. My name is Khalil Stewart, and I am your host today. And today I am joined by Mr. Brandon Crum. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing very well, man. How about yourself?
Doing good. Well, this is a little bit of a different series, folks, that we're going to do today, where we want to highlight alum, donors, people who have love for ASU, people like yourself.
Absolutely.
And I just want to start off right there. What is your love? Why are you so? There's a lot of things you could have given your money to.
Sure.
You could have kept your money. You know what I'm saying? But why ASU?
Yeah. ASU has a special place in my heart. This is where I went after I finished up with community college back in 2012. Alabama State University offered me a full academic scholarship. And, you know, I never thought that I could go to college free academically. And so Alabama State really opened my mind to so many things. Number one, the HBCU culture. This is one of the in my opinion, the best HBCUs in the country, but it's definitely one of the top academically and sports-wise. And so, you know, one of the things that's near and dear to my heart is students and education and making sure that the students have the resources, the funds, and things that they need to be able to be successful while they're here. I think Alabama State University does a great job with educating the students, but we have to do our part as alums and as donors to be able to give to that effort to ensure that students that come from similar backgrounds as us get the same opportunities.
Now, you walked into the studio a couple minutes ago and you were just amazed by the things that you've seen now. And, you know, I made a mistake and sorry threw me off at the beginning for this, you know, your age, but you graduated in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. How has ASU changed in that time span from your perspective?
Yeah, ASU has grown exponentially. I was telling you kind of before the program that I started the ASU Teaching Garden back when I was a student here, and even that area, which is about 1.5 acres of land, they've developed. I mean, it's hoop houses now, it's greenhouses. We had a couple of raised beds where we were growing fruits and vegetables, but now it's grown into something that I couldn't even imagine. But beyond that, I mean, you look at the culture here, from the renovations that are taking place on campus, some of the dorms that have been renovated. Now, I mean, there's, you know, a brand new Hornets nest right within the stadium that has opened up. But I think we have, even when I was here, we had one of the best campuses that I think in the Southeast. And I can really appreciate that because, you know, as a student here, you're away from home, you're away from family. And so being somewhere that that's not only presented nice, but it also has really good people that want to see it grow, that want to see it continue to flourish, I think was very important for me. So I'm just amazed at the growth, and I think the leadership at the top is doing a fantastic job at continuing to expand ASU into new territories, getting new students from different backgrounds here to experience this university. I think it's fantastic.
Now, you're originally from Flint, Michigan, correct?
That's right.
What made you decide to come from all the way up north where it's snow, it's cold, it's all that stuff going on, to down south in the dry heat? Because I'm sure you felt that transition when you made that decision.
Yeah, no, that's why I left, man. It's too cold.
So you saying you enjoy the heat?
I enjoy the heat a lot better than the cold.
Okay.
It snows in Michigan about 6 months out the year,
right.
And so I'm shoveling snow 6 months out the year. But no, seriously, you know, my family is from Alabama, my father's side, and so coming back down south was just something that I was always wanted to do, and when the opportunity presented itself, it just made sense. You know, plus Alabama State University is rich in its history. You think about it, the civil rights movement began here. They met here, right here in Montgomery, and so Alabama State is the core of that. And a lot of those individuals that were involved were young people at the time, and some were even students here. And so knowing that history and knowing that this is a place where I could really, you know, find my identity and find my group and find who I am and really have people around me that embraced who I was and encouraged me in a real way, I think was important. And it was really a difference maker in the outcome of my life.
Now, you mentioned before the interview that you were a Golden Ambassador. So you're not just someone who was you weren't just your casual student.
Sure.
You were involved in the history. As we can tell from the interview, you know the history.
Sure.
You know things that the casual student may not know.
Sure.
What was your experience as an undergrad?
Yeah. I had a fantastic experience. It was so many special moments that happened here while I was an undergrad. One of the things we transitioned a couple of different presidents while I was here, and being a Golden Ambassador, I got to spend a lot of time with each of them in a way where they could advise me, they could give me wisdom and impart things in me that a lot of students didn't get to experience. Now it is different with our school because our presidents are very active in student culture, which I really appreciate. But not only that, the Golden Ambassador experience, and I served 2 years. 1 year I served as the chief, was phenomenal. We really got a chance to get to know Montgomery. We traveled with the football teams for the big games, so like Magic City Classic and things like that. We really played a significant role, and we were participating in the parades, and we also got to know a lot of alum that were here that really made significant impacts, not only in Alabama but worldwide. And so we got a chance to interact with them, get to know more about their story. And so it really gave me a different perspective. It gave me the ideas. It showed me that my ideas, I could bring them to fruition. It showed me that you can really be purpose driven in the things that you do and what you choose as a career, and you can have an opportunity to fulfill the things that you want to do, and those things can come, your dreams can become reality.
Now, we're coming up on the 100th Turkey Day Classic. Turkey Day Classic has changed since you were an undergrad, since I arrived. My first year here was 2021, and that's when it made the transition to, okay, now Turkey Day Classic is a homecoming for alums. We're going to have a homecoming in season. We're going to have a specific date. Talk about the way Turkey Day Classic, what it means to you and to your family.
Well, I'm going to say this. So my father is a Tuskegee University alum, and he is a Hall of Fame quarterback for the Tuskegee.
So it runs deep.
So it runs deep.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a little boy, I can remember coming to the Turkey Day Classic and just being amazed by the bands and just the culture and how fun everything was. And I think even now, the essence of the Turkey Day Classic is still there. It's a bitter rivalry with our up the street neighbor, Tuskegee University, but it's one of those things where it's all love. We talk junk to each other back and forth before the game, and then we play the game and we get bragging rights for the year. But then, if it's ever a situation where somebody's coming against Alabama State or somebody's coming against Tuskegee, we're going to band together. And I think that's one of the things that we can really appreciate is that the game is family fun for the family. It's an opportunity to see two teams compete at a very high level, and it gives us the opportunity to really enjoy that moment with our families as we get older.
Now talk a little bit about your game day experience at ASU. Not only in undergrad, because I'm sure you got a special, being a Golden Ambassador,
Sure.
You're getting to go to just about every single game, the big classes, the big games, but being an alum now, talk about it from those two different perspectives.
Yeah. Being a student, I worked the games. As a Golden Ambassador, we were the ones in the suites that made sure that only the people with certain wristbands would come into the suites, and we, had detail on the president. So, and any special guests, we make sure that they were escorted down to the field and they were recognized. And we did a lot of photo ops, of course. But the thing about it was that it really gave us a genuine respect for a lot of the students and the alums and the people that are in leadership at the university. It allowed us to interact with them in a real way. And so, that experience really gave me really insight into, kind of the behind the scenes, how everything comes together. But now, as an alum and somebody that just comes back to enjoy the game, my firm, my law firm is a strong supporter of ASU athletics, and so we get a suite and we enjoy the game from the suite. And then as a donor, I'm also in the box level, and I get to enjoy it in a real way. And I bring my son with me, and so he has a great time. And so it's just a day that we can really appreciate. I think the essence of what HBCU football is all about right here at Alabama State University.
Absolutely. Well, to wrap the interview up, I want to ask, why athletics? Yeah. Were you a big, obviously being at the games, you had the opportunity to experience. I'm sure you were a passionate fan. Sure. Why donate to athletics?
Yeah. Well, a couple of different reasons. Our athletic department has done a phenomenal job with the students. They make sure that students know that they are student athletes. So they're students first, athletes second. And so education is why you're here. And so the coaches and the advisors really push on the students that they need to make sure that they're going to class, make sure that they're doing what they need to do from an intellectual and a scholar standpoint so that they can perform well on the field as well. Now, specifically why athletics, one of the things that drives, I think, colleges and universities is sports programs. And so Alabama State's University's sports program is no different. We have several big games throughout the year, and that's when you get a ton of people from the local community and nationwide that have come to Montgomery or that have come to one of our classic games that are off-site and enjoy themselves. And so it makes sense from a business perspective for me to make sure that I'm promoting myself and my firm through those games. But also, as I said before, Alabama State University is special to my heart. So I want to make sure that these students are given opportunities, especially student athletes. As you can tell, athletics runs deep in my family,
right.
Especially football is very close to us. And so one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I did once I got into my career was, number one, be a young alum that gives, because we know the challenges that so many HBCUs face with the dwindling numbers of people that's giving to the university. So I didn't want to continue that trend. I wanted to separate myself and do things that give back to the university. But I know that it makes a real impact in student lives because I was one of those students that it impacted in a positive way. And the outcomes from that can be phenomenal. As you know, the saying goes, when ASU teaches class, the world takes notes. And I think that's very real. And so, just the opportunity to give back and pour into student athletes and make sure that they also have the things that they need and the resources to be able to spread the word about Alabama State University is very important to me.
Well, I would love to continue this conversation because it can go a lot deeper based off of those notes, but that's all the time we have today. We're going to catch up with you at some point for sure, because we're going to see you at games. We're going to see you back on this network at some point. But I want to appreciate you. Thank you for your time. And we'll see you. I'm going to cut that out with that. I want to thank you for your time, people, for tuning in to this episode. We appreciate you for your time, and we'll see you next time. Folks, stay tuned for the next episode. Miss Allen, can I redo the end? Okay. Got tongue tied, my bad.
Hey, I understand, man. I understand. Hey, great interview, man.
Thank you.
That's excellent. That was great.
All right. Folks, that is all the time we have today. We want to thank you for your time. We continue this conversation for days and days based off of your last point. But, folks, I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode. We'll see you next time. Okay? We can continue this conversation for days and days, honestly, and I want to continue this conversation down the road for sure, because it can go on and on. But folks, that is all the time we have today. My name is Khalil Stewart, and we'll see you next time. All right. Thank you for your time.
Work, man. Excellent job.
Sorry about that ending. I got a little tongue tied.